My name is Alvin Ramlu. I was severely injured in combat while fighting in Afghanistan for the U.S. Army on June 6, 2006. And I'm here to tell you about the Ability One program, a program that helps people like me. And I will tell you about my accident later. First, I will tell you about my life. I was born in Fiji Islands in 1979. My mom moved us to San Mateo, California when I was 10 years old. I know you may be wondering why my family would want to live in an island paradise like that. Well, the average income in Fiji is about $5,600 US per year, and 1 in 10 people are homeless. What's that saying? No money, no funny? But I was little then. I didn't know why we were moving. I was just excited. I had seen TV shows like A-Team, Knight Rider, and it seemed like a whole new world. When I got here, everything seemed so easy. The weather was nice and the people was nice. Everything seemed so convenient. My stepdad picked us up from the airport in his own truck, and it was only a 10-minute drive to the house. In Fiji, it would have been a 3 or 4 hour ride in a taxi. I was overwhelmed. When I went to school, I felt that the students my age were smarter than me and more advanced. So I just kept my mouth shut and I just tried to fit in. While we lived there, my little brother and sister were born. I graduated from San Mateo High School in 1998. I had seen movies like Platoon and Full Metal Jacket, and I thought to myself that I would like to be in the Army one day. I admired their toughness and discipline. I also wanted a better life for myself. Since I didn't go to college, I thought the Army would provide me with new opportunities to make my life better. So I enlisted, and I joined the California Army National Guard. I went to basic training at Fort Sill, Oklahoma. It was the hardest 15 weeks of my life. When I finally graduated, I was proud and relieved, but I knew there was a lot of hard work in front of me still. From Fort Sill, I went to Fort Leonard Wood in Missouri for truck driving training for 7 weeks. I came home to San Mateo and worked a full-time job while doing my National Guard duties. My company all knew that we would be called to go to Afghanistan or Iraq sooner or later. In October of 2005, the Army was looking for volunteers to go over there, so I volunteered. I wanted to get my tour over with. So I went to carpentry and masonry training in South Dakota to prepare for the mission. I needed that training because I would be building housing and building up the Forward Operating Base, or FOB. I got on the plane in January of 2006, and I was eager to get over there and start my time. My rank was E4, that's a specialist. My family was happy and proud, telling me to be careful. I thought to myself, it's only a year. When you come back, you will have all the benefits. I was ready to do what I had been trained to do. I was proud to be going over there. You know that song by Bob Marley called Buffalo Soldier? Well, that represents me. I was coming from the islands to win the war for America. My company, the 145th Engineer Company, was stationed in Coast, Fort Orlando, Afghanistan. It's an urban area, and it's known as an Al-Qaeda training ground and Taliban hotspot. There's a lot of stuff going on there. On my second day there, a rocket exploded about 100 feet away from me. That's when it really sunk in that this was for real. This wasn't a video game. It was kill or be killed. I talked to the medic about my high anxiety level. But over there, they just give you a Band-Aid and a cup of juice and tell you to suck it up. Everyone has high anxiety over there. You deal with it when you get back home. Despite the hardships I faced, I love the Army. It made me who I am today. They treated me really good. They fed me, put clothes on my back, gave me a hot shower, gave me TV and internet, and had events to keep my morale up. I visited places all over the world that I would never imagine. I got to escort high-ranking officials. When my grandmother had a stroke, they put me on emergency leave and sent me to Fiji. When I saw the other armies of different countries over there, I thought I was so glad that I'm with the U.S. Army. I didn't want to leave the Army, but I had to. I had to retire from the military with 100% disability on February 13, 2009. I was brokenhearted. I have TBI, traumatic brain injury, 60%, 100% PTSD, 10% for my back, 10% for my knee, and permanent hearing loss. I had post-traumatic stress disorder, and on top of all that, I was unemployed. and I had to find a new job. I had to start from the beginning. I found this job through my social work at my VA clinic. So I got a job through the Ability One program. My employer is called Project Hired, and they hire people with severe disabilities and help them get back to work. I am a switchboard operator at a VA hospital near Sacramento, California. I answer about 200 calls a day. I deal with some angry and abusive veterans, but I have compassion for these people. I know how they feel. That's the way people talk in the Army. It doesn't bother me. So I help them the best I can. I can relate to their struggles because I'm still dealing with my own. I used to be a truck driver, but now I have trouble driving my own car. I am scared of big cars, white cars, station wagons. I am constantly thinking that someone is going to blow up their car. Or I am in traffic and someone walks on the crosswalk and I think they're going to blow themselves up. I constantly look in the rearview mirror because I think someone is going to get in my car and then slash my throat. When cars drive close behind me, I think they're going to explode. I can't handle loud noises. I was on a guard duty one day in Afghanistan at about 5:30 in the morning. A little girl about 10 to 12 years old, well, she looked about 10 to 12, came to the line outside of the base to come to work. She was wearing a balaclava, a ski mask. She was in line with other locals, waiting to be searched to come inside. While I was looking at her from my guard tower, she exploded, killing about 12 to 20 people around her. I was in shock because the bomb was so loud. It sounded like an atomic bomb. Now today I get flashbacks to that scene. When I'm around my little sister or other little kids, I feel nervous around little children. I try to tell myself I'm not there anymore, I am still here. I try to control it. I try to remind myself the difference between fantasy and reality. This never used to be a problem for me, but now it is a problem. It's a burden also. I have to go to the doctor's about twice a month to deal with the symptoms. I take about 5 types of medicines to control the symptoms. There is a Fijian saying that translates into idleness is to be dead at the limbs but alive within. I can't relate to this saying because when I came home, I wasn't so used to being idle, and I didn't want to be idle. I wanted to bring the same discipline and hard work I gave to the U.S. Army to the private sector. Thanks to the Ability One program, I am able to do that. The Ability One program and Project Hire sees my injuries and allow me to work anywhere with a few accommodations. The Ability One program makes it possible for someone like me to get back into the working world. I'm still going to therapy and I'm still going to my doctor's appointments, but I can also work and be a productive member of society while I am recovering. Like the other 30,000 soldiers who have come home wounded since the war began, I have to rearrange my dreams like they have theirs. I always thought I would be in the Army for life. That's not possible for me anymore. That is very hard for me to admit, but it is true. I need to come up with a new dream. My wife and I are setting up to buy our first house in the Sacramento area. We want to visit Disneyland together one day, and in the future we want to start a family here in America. I don't know what my future career will be. I am taking it day by day. But I know that I will be all right as long as I can work and bring home a paycheck. And the Ability One program makes that possible for me and thousands of others who need it so desperately. John F. Kennedy once said, "This is about thanking veterans." He said, "As we express our gratitude, we must never forget that the highest appreciation is not to utter words, but to live by them." Signing an Ability One contract is your thanks in action. When you get back to your office and a new contract requirement comes across your desk, I ask you to think of these words. And think of me and the 40 other thousand people, soldiers with disabilities who are employed by this program. And please remember to think Ability One first. Thank you.